Sripada Sri Vallabha Charitamrutam, Chapter 18. Description about Ravidas. Divine Auspicious Darshan of Sree Sreepada. I reached Kurvapuram with the Brahmin pair. Sree Sreepada Sri Vallabha Swami, hero of the countless crores of universe, the ancient one, the one without beginning or end, the emperor of the 14 worlds, and the one who assumed sportive incarnation, finished his bath in the river Krishna and was walking towards the river bank. Divine rays of luster beamed from his divine auspicious form. Infinite love and compassion were emanating from his two eyes. He came close to me and asked me to pay obeisance to his feet. While I was touching his prosperous feet, he sprinkled on my head the holy water from his kamandala. That is, a small pot made of wood or earth used by yogis or ascetics. Even without me speaking anything, that divine Sri Charana said with exceedingly sweet voice, "My child, Shankara Bhatt, I attracted you here on account of extreme love for you." Language is not capable of adequately describing the sweetness of those words, and his boundless ambrosial compassionate looks. He placed his divine hand, which has the strength to offer assurance of security to all the worlds and is endowed with unlimited prowess, on my head. Kundalini power in me at once rose rapidly and rendered me helpless. It was felt as if the entire universe before my eyes disappeared. An electrical fire of infinite strength was burning every nerve and infusing stupor as if thousands of oceans rose terribly trying to submerge me in them. My eyes closed. My heart beat and pulse halted. My mind was rid of all queerness and it became still and stood in a great void. The consciousness in my heart merged with the infinite universal consciousness. At times I was getting an awareness that I was in a state of bliss in an extremely subtle form. At another time, even that notion of I subsided and I was in an ineffable state of divine bliss. In that state, when I got the knowledge that crores and crores of universes are created, sustained and liquidated from me, it was felt that I was not separate from this universal consciousness. When this I was at rest, I was in heavenly happiness. All this was very strange to me. Then Sree Sreepada, with great love, sprinkled water on me from his kamandala. I returned to normal state. Sri Vallabha Swami, who is the Adi Guru, that is, first Guru, of this universe, looked at me with compassionate, ambrosial looks, which relegated the love of 1,000 mothers into oblivion. He smiled at me very charmingly. Foreigners visiting Sripada. The two Brahmins who came with me were not having the courage to speak to Sree Sreepada or touch his divine auspicious feet. Sree Sreepada, glancing at me, asked about who those people were. I said, "Lord, these two people who came here to have the darshan of the divine Sri Charan are also Brahmins." For that, the tranquil handsome one said, "My child, those people do not look like Brahmins. They appear to be foreigners eating the flesh of cows. The truth can be ascertained by questioning them." Then those two Brahmins confessed that they were not Brahmins and that they were mlechas. They recited Kalman, which is normally read by Muslims. Sree Sreepada revels in sportive plays every moment. I was astonished. Then that great preceptor said, "Only on account of the fortune accruing from the fruits of virtuous deeds performed in many births it becomes possible to recognize the universal Lord Sri Dattatreya moving in disguise under the name of Sripada Sri Vallabha. It is a greater fortune to have that feeling in a steadfast fashion and to have feeling of devotion completely in him. All deities reside in a cow. A house which is without such a cow is equal to a burial ground. Those who serve cows with care are very much dearer to me. Cow's milk gives strength and satisfaction. Brahmins who eat the flesh of a cow deserve punishment. A goat is sacrificed in yagna and yaga rituals. Not only that, sacrificial goat but many other goats have blood relationship with it will be released from their low births and obtain noble births. They get Brahmin birth very soon. Those who conduct that yagna sacrifice must have sufficient yogic strength and tapobala to impart noble births in this manner to the sacrificial goat. If, without having in this manner yoga and tapobala, a yagna is conducted and a goat is sacrificed, the sin of killing a goat would visit upon them. Acts of dharma vary according to places and times. If a great ascetic eats the flesh of a cow, even if he happens to be a mlecha, it turns out to be done with an intent of offering to Parameshwara. Thereby, it becomes possible for the cow and its blood-related ones to get noble births. If it is not like that, great sin will catch them around firmly. That was why, as a general regulation, killing of cows was treated as a heinous crime. Krishna searched for a dharmakshetra suitable for the battle between Kauravas and Pandavas before the commencement of Kurukshetra battle. Arjuna was with Krishna. At one place, one farmer was letting in water into his field. That farmer was searching for a rock to place it to arrest the flow of water from going out. In the meantime, his son brought food from the house. After finishing his meals, the farmer severed the head of his son with a knife and placed it as a barrier to the water flow. The father, who was striking with the sword, and the son, who was struck down with the knife, did not undergo any emotions and remained unperturbed when the death blow was dealt. Food is required for the welfare of the society. The only one concern of the cultivator is to grow crop. That cultivator discharged his dharma without any desire for reward. Sri Krishna decided that area as a suitable war theatre or dharmakshetra. You, namesake Brahmins, for you to eat the flesh of cows is not at all justified. However, on account of previous punya, the strength of prayers of your ancestors, and moreover due to my free compassion, you received the fortune of my darshan. Consider this as a great fortune and a precious fruit of luck. I will not accept your salutations. Don't touch my feet. It is not possible to sprinkle on you the sacred water from my kamandalu. Immediately leave this place and go wherever you want. I will see that there is no dearth of food and clothes for you. You marry Muslim women and follow mlecha religion. Let the cows killed by you become your children in this life and other ensuing lives. Let them harass you in various ways and live happily by freely enjoying your hard-earned money. Let both of you who had the fortune of seeing me become famous with the names as Bade Baba, Abdul Baba, and be uplifted by the complete Sadguru incarnation. There is a village called Siladi in Maharashtra. It becomes a Siddha Kshetra in course of time. You get Sai Baba there. My command is inviolable. It cannot be altered like letters on a rock. Go out of this place at once. Sreepada ordered them like that. Only Sree Sreepada and I were there. Then a washerman named Ravidas arrived. He was repeatedly saluting Sree Sreepada. Sreepada did not care for him for some time. Thereafter, Sree Sreepada turned towards him and smiled. I was thinking what might be the reason for that. With charming smile, he looked at me with compassion and touched the center of my eyebrows strongly. Wonderful scenes were seen before my mental eye. The acts of grace of Sree Sreepada towards devotees. Ravidas was plying a boat towards Kurungadda. In that boat, an erudite Vedic scholar was travelling. That Pandit told that he should be taken alone in the boat because he was a Brahmin, and if others got into the boat, he will suffer from the sin of contact and touch by untouchables. Ravidas demanded a higher fare. The Pandit told that he was a great scholar and that he was going to Sree Sreepada. He added that Swami would give liberal monetary gifts on recognizing his scholarship, provided Swami was himself a learned one. He promised to pay the boat fare out of that amount. Ravidas agreed. The boat journey was going on. The Pandit noticed during the course of conversation that Ravidas was not having any knowledge about Puranas and other ancient legends. He remarked, "You see, my life is fulfilled. As you have no knowledge of Puranas and legends, 3/4 of your life is a waste." Ravidas kept quiet. The river current was fierce and the water was overflowing. Added to that, a hole appeared in the boat and water was entering into it. Ravidas asked, "Sir, do you know swimming?" The Pandit replied in a negative. Then Ravidas said, "I know swimming, whereas you cannot swim. Therefore, your life is 100% waste." Uttering the name of Sripada Srivallabha, Ravidas was trying to jump into the river. A brilliant divine illumination dazzling the eyes appeared in the middle of the river. Ravidas thought it was all the magnificence of Sree Sreepada. Water was entering the boat, but some unseen hand was throwing out all that water. Both of them approached Sree Sreepada for darshan. Previously, when Ravidas was saluting, Sree Sreepada was rejecting it with utter disdain. But on that day, he received the salutation of Ravidas with a loving smile, shining on a placid countenance. He, however, saw the scholar accompanying Ravidas with complete indifference. The scholar, who wanted a scholarly debate, stood dumbfounded. Sree Sreepada said, "You Pandit, you lost discrimination between right and wrong under the influence of pedantic arrogance. You are a great scholar hailing from a noble family, but you amassed sin instead of earning punya. You subjected your dutiful wife to great anguish. You separated forcibly the wife of a washerman from him when they were leading a happy married life. You took her as your concubine. That wife of the washerman who became your concubine under unavoidable circumstances is always cursing you mentally, even though she is submitting her body to you. Your wife, who is a good Brahmin lady, is undergoing untold mental agony as her married life is wrecked on the rocks. I am observing all these things, and so I attracted you here this day. According to your horoscope, death is written for you today. I am granting you a lifespan of 3 more years at present. You go to your home and change your previous evil conduct. If not, I will leave you to your fate. You are a scholar, there is no doubt. Do you want me to reward you with money for your scholarship? Or do you want an extension of life by 3 more years? Reply immediately." The Pandit, who heard the words of omniscient Sree Sreepada, remained speechless like a dumb one. He had a desire in his heart for extension of the lifespan, but words were not coming out of his mouth. Sree Sreepada himself declared, "I am extending the duration of your life as per your heart's desire. The washerwoman who is your concubine shall have to become your wife in the next birth, but you took her as your own in this birth. Dharmas relating to particular birth are restricted to that birth only. You have transgressed that stipulation. In the ensuing birth, those washermen couple enjoy regal comforts. You will be born as an important one and work as a servant to that washerwoman and suffer the consequences of your past deeds. If you perform some good acts during these 3 years, you will serve that washerwoman without any want for food and clothing. If you indulge in evil acts, you serve that washerman and his wife and undergo all sorts of troubles without being able to get compensation commensurate with your labors. Ravidas, who brought you to me, will be credited with all your punya because he brought you when you are due to die. As a result of that punya, he can serve me, an actual incarnation of Datta. You must get out of this holy land at once." Sree Sreepada commanded the Pandit. The Pandit left. Ravidas was washing the clothes of Sree Sreepada, cleaning the ashram premises and rendering other services. Whenever Sree Sreepada was coming to the river for bath, Ravidas used to prostrate before him. Sree Sreepada used to accept his salutations with a gracious countenance. Ravidas remembered the words of his father. His father told that as Sree Sreepada was omnipresent, every salutation made to him in return confers a grand fortune of receiving salutations from hundreds of people. His father also told that this great luck could be obtained only when Sree Sreepada accepts those salutations. Ravidas was overjoyed because Sree Sreepada accepted his salutations. One day, Ravidas, who saw a king indulging a revelry with young damsels in water sports, thought it would be better if he also takes birth as a king. When Sree Sreepada was going for river bath, this matter came up for discussion during the conversation with him. Sreepada gave a boon to Ravidas to be born in a Muslim ruler's family in Vaidurya He assured that he would give his darshan again during the incarnation as Nrisimha Saraswati. He looked at Ravidas with a peculiar smile. Ravidas died then and there. I underwent amazement and wonder on seeing these wonderful scenes before my mental eyes. When I regained normalcy, Sree Sreepada glanced at me and smiled sweetly. How much can we praise Sri Gurudev, who plays sportive pastimes every moment? In the meantime, some ladies came there with their sick husbands. Some parents came there seeking worthy husbands to their daughters. Sri Gurudev was distributing bits of turmeric. All people were leaving that place with great happiness. Granting a cup for receiving alms to Vallabhesha by Sree Sreepada. In the meanwhile, a young Brahmin came there. His body was filled with dust. He belonged to Kashyapa lineage and Apastamba Sutra. His name was Vallabheshwara Sharma. He came from Pitakapuram, Agraharam. Sree Sreepada inquired about the welfare of his kith and kin in Pitakapuram in a very detailed manner. This was only a pleasing pastime for the omniscient one. Many people brought food preparations for the midday bhiksha. In the meanwhile, he extended his divine hands upwards as if he was receiving something. A large silver vessel filled with a sweet preparation called kheer was received. Sree Sreepada directed me to distribute it to the disciples who assembled there. The vessel never became empty even though kheer was distributed to many people. He ordered that the food preparations brought by his disciples should be thrown into the river Krishna. That work was entrusted to Ravidas. The prasad of Swami was donated even to the creatures in the waters of the river. Sree Sreepada asked Vallabhesha to sit near him. I sat by the side of Vallabhesha. A Kannada Brahmin by name Subbarna Shastri sat beside me. One poor Brahmin prayed Swami to arrange a good marriage to his daughter to be married. Then Sree Sreepada said, "Why fear when I am here? Fear exists where there is sin." This Vallabhesha is your son-in-law. Subbarna Shastri will officiate as Purohit during the marriage. The forefathers of Vallabhesha are very angry. The curse of ancestors is not good for life. Obsequies, offerings of oblations made with devotions only will reach forefathers. In no other way they will reach them. Therefore, incantations from Garuda Purana should be read prior to reading of marriage mantras. Receive bit of turmeric for an auspicious married life. The prasad which you receive today is a very rare one. Maladi family, Vatsavai family and Sri Venkatappaya Shreshti in Pitakapuram prepared sweet pudding as an offering to me. I distributed it to you. Those who are troubled by evil spirits such as ghouls and devils will get immediate relief from this prasad. Those who grope in the misery of penury will have their wealth enhanced after taking this prasad. When Sree Sreepada was making this divine conversation, tears rolled from his cheeks. Sree Sreepada, with a hoarse voice, said, "My bond of indebtedness with Maladi, Venkatappaya Shreshti and Vatsavai families transcends time. I melt at their loving devotion. I freely go into their kitchens in a subtle form seeking something to eat. Not only those people. I move as a young boy in the houses of those who adore me with affectionate devotion. The sound of my footsteps always echo in their heartbeats. No one should stay during nights at Kurungadda without my permission. Ogres and fierce ghosts cry with extreme anguish for liberation. I devour them and grant them new and liberated bodies. Deities, celestials, yakshas, hidden forces, and many elevated souls belonging to the Mahapadartha, that is, great matter, come here for the chance of my darshan. Mahasiddhas, Mahayogis, and Mahapurushas engaged in penance from many centuries come here excited with joy for my darshan, touch, and conversation. You cross the river happily. My order is to be compulsorily complied with. That was the command of Sree Sreepada. We crossed the river and reached the village of the river bank. Subbanna Shastri made the bride and the bridegroom sit in the house of the bride's father. He was reading mantras. Shastri knows only marriage mantras, but he has no knowledge of the mantras of funeral rites and procedures. Moreover, he never had such funeral mantras ever read about making the bride and bridegroom seated. He never heard or found such mantras. Subbanna sat in the position of the presiding priests after meditating upon Sree Sreepada. Incantations were coming out of his mouth effortlessly. This created wonder in Subbanna. After this activity was completed, their marriage was performed with marriage mantras. A turmeric root was tied instead of Mangal Sutra, the cord as taken for marriage, fastened on the neck of the bride. The bride's father as well as the bridegroom were penniless. Brahmins who came for the marriage abused and left from the marriage venue as the marriage was not conducted strictly according to tradition. Vallabhesha had no parents. Parents of the bride, the bridegroom, priests, and myself, totaling 5, only were present besides the bride. Then we went for the darshan of Sree Sreepada along with the newly married couple. Sri Swami blessed us and made us happy. He instructed us to remain in meditation in his presence for some time. I visualized the future of Vallabhesha as soon as I went into meditation. Vallabhesha was trading in turmeric. He decided to arrange the worship of 1,000 Brahmins in Kurvapuram after gaining profit in his business. He earned plenty of money by the grace of Sree Sreepada, but he was postponing the fulfillment of the vow. In the meantime, Sree Sreepada disappeared in Kurungadda and remained incognito. The Padakes of Sree Sreepada only were in Kurungadda. When Vallabhesha was carrying money to Kurungadda, 4 thieves joined him in the guise of travelers and killed him. While he was being beheaded, he remembered Sree Sreepada. Sree Sreepada came in the form of an ascetic with a trident in hand and slayed 3 thieves. The 4th one submitted that he never committed any theft, that the 3 thieves met him in the midway, and that he colluded with them under the influence of their alluring words. He prayed for protection. The compassionate Sri Gurudev granted him assurance and gave some holy ash, commanding him to sprinkle on the body of Vallabhesha and join his head and torso. From the ambrosial glances of Sreepada, Vallabhesha regained life. Vallabhesha learnt all that happened from the thief. There was no limit for his astonishment and happiness. He was sorry that he could not get the fortune of seeing Sreepada. That thief was happy that he could have the darshan of Sreepada on account of Vallabhesha. Vallabhesha realized his mistake. He had the capacity long back to offer feast to 1,000 Brahmins. In that particular phase of time, he had the capacity to easily offer a grand feast of food for even 4,000 people. To make amends for his unnecessary delay, which resulted in many difficulties, Vallabhesha arranged a grand food festival in Kurungadda for 4,000 Brahmins. The corporeal cosmic form of Sreepada. Sreepada ordered that after some time to open my eyes. Afterwards, Sree Sreepada observed, "In my presence, no action takes place without a cause. The way of creation is indeed very strange. It is strange that I, who is formless, should come before you in human form. It is a wonder that an attribute-less one like me should be considered by you as having attributes. I am without limitations and bounds, but it is a matter of surprise that your experience shows me within limitations and boundaries. All forces are in my hand. I am the one who resides in each and every atom of this vast universe. I am the result that binds together one atom with the other. I am the Rudra of the final destruction, blasting each and every atom, preparing the ground for the process of new creation. I am the ancient phenomenon which teaches you what is jnana, that is, knowledge, and what is ajnana, that is, ignorance. I enjoy by throwing all living creatures in a variety of illusions. I am the one who rush with 1,000 hands to the succor of those who call me in distress. I am the ancient one who protects them. I am the real I, who ticks in all creatures as I and I. You have to be surprised if omnipresence, omnipotence, and omniscience are not in such a person like me. What is there for you to be surprised when those aspects are evident and experienced by you? When Sri Gurudeva, who was a personification of Parabrahma, was speaking like that, sound of a bell was heard from somewhere. That bell descended near the auspicious feet of Sreepada to the amazement of all the people. After a few seconds, it disappeared with all the people who were looking at it. Sree Srepada's respect for all women as mothers. Sree Sreepada averred like this: "This incarnation of Sreepada Sri Vallabha is a great incarnation that grants instantaneous results. No Avaduta can obtain complete perfection without remembering my name. He cannot overcome the obstacles to yoga. You, Vallabhesha, listen. When your father died in your childhood, I know how your 4 paternal uncles subjected you to many difficulties and turned you to a beggar by snatching your property. I also understand that their children also harbor enmity towards you. After death, your paternal uncles will be reborn and become thieves. They will plan to plunder your money on your way to Kurungedda. If you remember my name, I will immediately appear and kill those 3 robbers with my trident. I will leave the 4th one because he is not very much guilty." On hearing the words of Sreepada, the wife of Vallabhesha began to shed tears. Then Sreepada said like this: "Mother, I, Sreepada Sri Vallabha, see in every woman Akhanda Saubhagyavati Sumati Maharani, who gave me birth. I am always an infant child in the lap of that great mother. Don't grieve. Preserve the turmeric root which I gave you. That will confer all auspiciousness to you. You will live like a Sumangali, that is, a pious lady having a husband. My law is unchangeable like a rock edict. It is not possible for any force in this creation to alter it. I want to make eternal the name of my father, who is my first guru, who initiated me into the Gayatri Mantra. Therefore, my next incarnation will take the word Narsimha from the name of my father, with the added appellation Saraswati, and becomes as Narsimha Saraswati. I desire to render the form of my grandfather Bapannarya long-lasting. For that purpose, the figure of Narsimha Saraswati resembles exactly my grandfather in all respects. My grandfather is my second guru. I studied Vedic education from him. The bell which you have seen now was once in the house of my grandfather. That will be moving to many countries to bless spiritual aspirants according to my will. That travels beneath the layers of the earth as well as on the outer layers of the earth. Shankara, but the bell will return to Pitakapuram when 18th chapter, that is, representing the number of victory, in the Sripada Sri Vallabha Charitamrutam, which is being written by you, reaches Pitakapuram. This bell undergoes many changes of shape and measurement and moves according to my will. A great samsthan will be established in the house of my grandfather. I will send to Pitakapuram the bell ringing victory as a mark of my love.